This is the URT. We are the URT. You are the URT. Welcome to the URT. Big up everybody. Love and light. I know. Yeah, I got lost in Salford Keys, man. How did you know, Jamie Wayne? Are you following me, lad? Are you following me? Are you that CIA spy, lad? Are you the CIA? Are you the FBI, CIA? Big up to everybody. Yo, big up everybody. Love and light. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. It's that late night therapy. Late night therapy. It's that late night therapy. Late night therapy. Late night therapy. Yo, ain't nothing wrong with the bold people, man. My guy's giving all the boldies like us a bad name, man. Ain't nothing wrong with the boldies, man. He's just a fraud from day dot. We told you. Channel. Audience therapy army, we're vindicated again. We are vindicated again. Vindicated again. We said my guy was dodgy. We gave him the nicknames Dodgy Dave. He was known as Dodgy Dave on this channel. Dodgy effing Dave. Big up to everybody. How are we all doing? How are we all doing, people? No mercy. Big up Alien Tenno. Big up to all the mods in the house. Big up Jamie Wayne. Big up Alien. Big up Dave. Big up to everybody. Big up Carla. Carla's like, what time is it coming on? Yo, Carla, it's been a mad day. Trust me, it's been a mad one. It's been a mad one. Big up to you, though. Love and light. Smash a like, please, people. Smash a like. The quicker we get to 50 likes, the better. Let's do it. Let's do that. Trust me, I've had a long day. And I was, I'm out here, people. I'm out here doing my bit. If you know, you know. Big up everyone. Hit the like, subscribe. Listen, Ben, let me know. Let me know if you want to jump on. Big up Ben. Big up Alien Tenno. Alien Tenno, let me know if you want to jump on. But I'm guessing the missus is in bed. So, Alien, you don't want to jump on. So, big up to you. Anybody who wants to jump on, let me know. Love and light. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, people. We're here. We're live. We're here. We're live. We're live and direct. Live and direct FC. Here we go. Here we go. Actually, let me just send this to Asif because Asif's always got calm takes in it. And I want to hear from him. So let's see, because we want to invite somebody that doesn't always agree with us. We want to invite somebody that actually might have a different point of view to us. Jump on, man. Jump on. Late therapy. Jump on. Late therapy. If you're free. You are free. Big up. Listen, big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to subscribe. Yes, Ben. Ben. Bloody hell, Ben. The missus might go crazy, lad. Is she all right? Yo, Ben, am I getting you in trouble this late, lad? Am I getting you in trouble? Am I getting you in trouble, pal? I don't want to be getting you in trouble, mate. Chatting macker about Manchester United on a late one. It is what it is. But also tonight we're going to be discussing, to be fair, we're going to be discussing, yeah? We're going to be discussing everything that is. We're going to be discussing Gyokeres. I can say it, Gyokeres. Not forget the G. The GY are silent. Well, the G is silent, innit? Gyokeres. We're gonna find out. Is there anything to this? It's the late therapy, and there's no rules, people. Late night therapy, no rules. Big up Matteo. Matteo, we've not seen you for a while. Big up Matteo. Matteo, big up to you. Love, free Ireland, free Palestine. Can we get a big up for iBox? Big up to you. Big up to you, Matteo. Up the Irish. Up the fucking Irish. Up the Irish. Big up. Love, light to you, man. I sent you a DM on Twitter. Let me just have a look. Let me have a look, man. Let me have a look. We're out here. Yeah. Go on, man. So, yeah, man. Big up. Treble wants to jump on. So everybody wants to jump on, man. Everybody. Late night therapy. Late night therapy. It's the late night therapy. Late night therapy. Big up to every one of you. Please let's get to 100 likes. 150 likes is our target tonight. Our target is 150 likes. Let's get into it. Big up to everyone and love. I hope you've had a wonderful day. Big up to everybody who's joining us from around the world. I hope you're having a nice time wherever you are. Big up to all my UK massive. What's going on in top of the morning? By the way, Eid Mubarak to a lot of the people who are doing Eid tomorrow as well. Big up to all my people who are doing Eid tomorrow. Eid Mubarak. Eid Mubarak. There you go. Trebles is about, mate. Trebles is about.
What are you saying, Nora, man?
Yeah, man. 10 up. Trebles, man. Trebles.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly, man.
You know what?
Big
Yeah,
up.
I've literally finished work an hour ago.
Yeah, big up.
Yeah, listen, Eid Mubarak, innit?
Yeah, Eid Mubarak, bro.
Eid Mubarak. Listen, you know the Giddy FC merchants.
Giddy FC. Here we go. Here we go. Listen, you've got me in the background. I'm hearing feedback. What's the feedback, man? Really bad feedback.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but when I talk, there's feedback in my ear.
All right, okay. I'll mute when you talk then.
No, go back out and come back in.
All right, okay, cool.
Yeah. Big up people. Love and like people. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're on the road to 15K people, on the road to 15K. Let's be having you, Therapy Army. Let's be having you. We're doing consistent. We're doing video every single day. Every single day we're doing, there's content on the channel. Every single day there's content. Whether it's a video, the Cunha video is coming on Saturday. I'm deciding now because it's about Manchester United. And I've decided, big up Jarvis, it's about better watch out. It's the late one. It's the late one. It's the late people, late night, the night owls. It's the night owls. How are we doing, Jarvis? How was your show? You have a good show?
Yeah, it was a good show. It was a good show. We covered a lot of stuff, but it was more like tactical stuff. We covered a little bit.
Actually, you're here, Jarvis. Thank God you're here because you are the man in the know. We're going to be breaking down Gyokeres because I want to know if he's any good. Because I'm not going for the hype, Jarvis. And you know me, I don't trust players from different leagues anymore. I don't trust them. I don't even trust even Cunha and Imbermo, and they play in the same league because I don't trust our system. I don't trust our club. Every player comes to our club looks like they fucking walked off a Sunday league fucking team. You know what I mean? Straight into Manchester United. So you're perfect here. Trebles, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Big up, Trebles.
Yo, the feedback's still there, Trebles. You need to turn it off. Whatever you're using, you need to switch it off and then switch it all off and then come back on, man. The feedback's really bad, bro. The feedback is really bad.
You go to StreamYard and edit mic settings and remove background echo.
Did you hear that, Trebles? You can do that. Or can I do that, Jarvis? Can I do that? Or does Trebles have to do that?
As long as his mic is muted. But if you unmute his mic and edit his mic settings, you can try.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Mic settings. 1 second. Reduce background noise.
Yeah, you have echo cancellation. You can try reduce background noise, so maybe it will be better.
The echo thing is not there. All right, it was already on there. Let me just click off it. 1 second. Speak. Treble, speak. Say something.
Yeah, can you hear me?
1 second. Say something else. Go ahead. I'm just going to try to edit. Oh, it won't even let me do it now. It won't edit mic. It won't let you.
I think you're good. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, he'll come back. Big up to everybody. Big up, love and light. Listen, we called it Jarvis. We called it here. We all called it. From his appointment to Manchester United. So let's get into it, people. Let's not wait around. Let's not hang around. This channel and every member and the audience are vindicated yet again. We said Dodgy Dave does not have a fucking clue. This ain't cycling. This is Manchester United. Let me repeat. This is Manchester United. Manchester United. He does not have the absolute. He's not effing qualified. We said this ain't cycling. There's no inhalers about Old Trafford. We said Old Trafford is free inhaler zone. We said that. People. We said OT is a free inhaler zone. We said that. We told you all. And guess what? It only took Ineos a fucking year and a half to fucking find out. What a bullshit. Cat's coming, Jarvis. I want to see your 2 pence. I need to open the door for the cat.
That's okay. That's okay. Big up to the URT army. I hope you guys are well. Smash the like. 100 people watching as we are speaking. So if you're new, subscribe to the channel. I think we are aiming for 15,000. If there's maybe around 15. And smash the like. I think we are aiming for at least 200 likes for tonight. So guys, smash that like as we speak. I did some research on the Gyokeres tonight. Stu and I did a show on Tactical Devils where I broke it all down, and we talked a little bit about a lot of things, but I have some worries when it comes to Gyokeres, and we will come to it when we have covered the Brailsword stuff, so people stay tuned. Big up, Ben.
Big up, guys. Big up, guys.
Good evening. It's the Owls. It's the late Owls with a late therapy. It's the late therapy. Late therapy. Late therapy. Yes, people, we need it. We need it after we finish 15 people. We need it. But big up to everybody. Love and light. Listen, this channel is vindicated yet again. The audience are vindicated. There was not one of you who said, "I'll give Dodgy Dave a chance." We coined it. Big up to Khalees. Khalees was like, Dodgy Dave and the Quarter Sexuals. It was a band, remember? We called them a band like there was some boy band. But anyway, Dodgy Dave is out of there with his inhalers. He's out of there, I repeat, with his inhalers. So it's exactly the same thing they said about Blanc as well. We said Blanc might have done it in Italy, might have done it at Paris, but Manchester United is a different beast. It's Manchester United, Jarvis. It's Manchester United, Ben. It's Manchester United. It's Manchester United. That's what it is. So the biggest thing is this. We said he can never apply this marginal gains nonsense. I remember saying at the time, marginal gains only works, people, when you've got a well-oiled machine already. So what you're trying to do is that get that 2% up to that level. Marginal gains for a team, for a culture that is so toxic. Majority of coaches are failing, majority of players are failing, and the culture is the owners. How can you apply marginal gains to his best friend and boss, Jim Glazer, and the effing Glazers, who set a absolutely toxic culture? How can you apply that? How? Where he comes in with marginal gains, it's a sport that this is peak level performance, and then that you're trying to give them that edge over the other peak level performance. Manchester United have not been peak level performance for fucking 30 whatever years before you got there. What are we talking about? It's like trying to fucking apply those little baby bikes, the baby bikes, the kids bikes, the three-wheelers. Try to get the three-wheelers to do Tour de France. The fucking, those three-wheelers to do to compete in the fucking Tour de France. You know what I mean? Or one of those like guys, the mechanics. One of those mechanics who just set up like and invent a little bike and go, ooh, I bet he can go. You know what I mean? It was like trying to enter him in the Tour de France. Fuck, we sailed, we called it. We said all of this was a sham. We sat here week after week when he first got announced, and we said, my guy doesn't have a fucking clue. And we said that. And he did this strategic review that's basically got everybody fucking sacked. His strategic review was, you know what, Manchester United have got over 1,000 employees. Sack half of them. Sack maybe 700 of them. Liverpool, our nearest and the closest club to us in terms of the size, they employ like 1,200. Real Madrid, Jarvis, then employ over 3,000 people. What the fuck are we on about? But Jarvis, let me get your 2 pence first. We knew it was only time before Dodgy Dave overdosed on the inhalers himself.
Yeah, but you're forgetting about one element, and that's Wilcox into all of this. And I think Wilcox and Barada cooperates well, and I think they are let's call them yes men for Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So I think he likes to keep them around, and I think Ratcliffe likes to give perks to people he likes, because he's a successful businessman and he knows what it takes. So we didn't like what's his name, who got sacked right away, the guy from Newcastle, Ashworth, and now Dodgy Dave is going back to Ineos Grenadiers and doing his thing with cycling. So maybe we'll see him in the Tour de France in July. But he's not a footballing man, and I think when you're competing at this level, you need footballing brains, even at the highest level of the club. Nothing that we haven't had for 15 to 20 years, and that's been one of our biggest problems, because we have bankers doing the calling the shots. It's not good. So I'm quite happy that he's leaving, and I'm willing to give Wilcox a chance. At least he's a footballing guy, so we should have a footballing director who's played the game. And we can talk more afterwards, Nora Bedin, about the latest when it comes to our smart accounting and how we are able to spend money because we have a holding company in Man United suddenly. I don't know if you read about that with Red Football Limited.
You're on mute.
I saw that, but I'm trying to understand it because I don't want to be bulled over, because all of a sudden Ineos are on
You froze up, Nordin.
It's like Dodgy Dave's fucking nerd with him.
I can break it down for you. It's basically this one. I can bring it up to the screen so you guys can see it. Here we go. So there was an article out today, how Man United staying PSR compliant, and the answer lies in Red Football Limited. That's a holding company now, and the Red Football Company, they lost 36.2 million last season versus the main company, that's Man United PLC, that's lost 130.7 million. So basically, we show this to the FA. This is our account. This is our money. It's Red Football Limited. It's not Man United PLC. So it's smart accounting. And to break it down for you, they are using a smart trick to stay within the Premier League spending rules. So instead of using the parent company's account, that's Man United, they are using a smaller company called Red Football Limited. And why? It's because the holding company shows smaller losses. So the parent company has lost over 300 million in 3 years, so that's over the limit. But the holding company, Red Football Limited, has only lost 200 million over the last 3 years. So it gives us an extra 100 million. And it's a lot, even losing 200 million, but it's within the 105 million limit. That's include owner investment. So we have spent money on, let's say, training facility, the women's team, and something that gives us a deduction on the losses on the holding company. So basically, it's smart accounting. But the thing is, it's only on paper, but we are safe on paper. But it's smart accounting that keeping us afloat for now. But long term, this is just tricks and flicks, and we will most likely lose out in the end if we don't start making money. So this is where we stand right now. So we are within the limits of spending, so we can invest because of this. Red Holding Limited. I don't know if you got that, Nordin, but
I got a bit of that. I got a bit of that. I saw it earlier.
It's just smart accounting in a way.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. And this is what everybody in the Premier League is doing, by the way. So this is
Chelsea's doing it. They sold their hotels and the women's team to the holding company.
And there's a rumor. And there's a rumor that Ineos are going to buy the women's team. They're going to buy the women's team. So then that means that frees up more money. More in terms of PSR, yeah. But listen, every club is doing that, so it's nothing special. I'm not going to be clapping or going crazy about that. At the end of the day, most clubs around the Premier League are looking at this thinking, how can we get around this? How can I bend the rules? How can we go around it? And it's basically hiring clever accountants, like Java said, to work it out how you can get around PSR. I mean, look at Man City. They're going to spend 300 million from January till now. And they're still 115 still. So it's crazy. But in terms of Dodgy Dave, for me, he just proved everything. I think, Jarvis, you're right. I think now he's not in the circle anymore. And it's exactly the same. So the two people that first came to Manchester United are both gone. It was Blanc. Remember, the first person that came and became on that board was Blanc. Second person was Dodgy Dave. And both of them are gone. And the people that who've been promoted and the positions have been. By the way, we're doing a poll. The poll is, Ineos are falling apart. Who's next? That's the thing. Is it Omar Barada? Is it Wilcox? Or is it Vavel? So we've said Vavel is also has had a job. I don't know if you know that Vavel is like the head of recruitment, global recruitment, or whatever he is, right?
Yeah.
There's some other guy who's got the business deal. I forgot that guy's name. I looked at I've seen the model that they've got, how many people they've got on the bottle. So please get voting. And unfortunately, no surprise, but a lot of people think it's Amarim because he's the easiest to sack out of all of them. For me, if you get rid of Amarim, then you have to get rid of Omar Barada and Wilcox.
Facts.
Or especially Omar Barada, because Omar Barada, this is his guy. Guy. Go ahead, Ben. What do you think about the news about Dave and everything else? How are you feeling about them?
When I saw the news, I was celebrating, man, because we won't have to ever mention him ever again, man. But I think, look, at the end of the day, man, like I didn't understand from the get-go why he was part of the board. Obviously I was kind of shocked with Blanc leaving. I thought Blanc, obviously with his previous clubs, like what he did, as a chief executive, he did relatively quite well. And it just didn't make sense at all for Ineos to bring in Dodgy Dave. All he knows is just cycling, fitness, all that sort of shit. And like I'm just like I'm not bigging up Ineos, but I'm just glad he's out of the picture now. And with Wilcox, I think putting Wilcox as a director of football, I'm two minds on it right now. I think it could be a good thing because I mean, so far the signings, I mean, you could probably argue Ugarte is probably the only signing that you could probably argue is not particularly a great signing. But I still think Wilcox is probably a better suited for the technical director because I do believe Wilcox is usually good at scouting, young talent like academy players. Like we've seen Aiden Heaven, we've seen Obi Martin. And I think that we missed our big opportunity with the Paris Saint-Germain director of football. I think we should have been all in for him. He's been phenomenal, so he has for them, and obviously he's taken them to the Champions League. And yeah, that's really all I gotta say. I'm just happy he's gone, Dodgy Dave. I think him and
but Ben, you're not impressed by PSG, are you? Really?
I mean,
670 million euros in wage budget yearly.
Is that right?
PSG,
Yeah.
second place, Man City, 480 million euros. They outspend everyone. It's not impressive at all. You can splash the cash and you will win. I don't know how, but you can connect it somehow. The team that, yeah.
Jarvis, it's impressive that they realized that it's not about Galacticos, it's about a team. It took them 10 years to go away from the Real Madrid model, but it's took them 10 years, but they found out this team they played with, this young team, Jarvis, I love fucking watching them. I love watching Fatini and Neves and what's the name? The Spanish guy. Oh my God, they're three in midfield. That's what won them the game. But yes, it took them 10 years to find out, and they finally got a good director of football in campus who actually said, fuck superstars, let's do this. But Enrique as well, to be fair, it's not easy to win trebles, Jarvis. That's his second treble. Yeah, it took him time to build the team.
footballing wise, we loved watching Yaya Toure and David Silva and all of these guys playing football for City, but we all know that they were cheating. So in a way, I don't respect, you know,
Blood
when it
doping,
comes to
yeah,
this
blood
level.
doping.
Yeah,
It's not organic. It's not organic, innit?
no, it's
It's
not.
that injection. Give me that injection. Bit of that injection. Give me a bit of that injection, pal.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, their team is superb. I think the model was always going to be dodgy. When you go for Galacticos and when people know you have that much money and you just want the names. To be fair, I'm not going to lie to you, Jarvis. They actually, as a brand, they're incredible. The amount of people I see, even like grown men who were in Paris Saint-Germain shirts, not that they're fans, they just like the kit. They like the kit. They're actually one of the most, like, outside of their country, they push their shirt. They're the biggest French club ever, shirt sellers globally. They are. People like the shirt. And then you've got even UK rappers doing a track about Thiago Silva and all of this and, you know, wearing
but
that.
we all
and
know the
the
history with
commercials.
Sarkozy and Qatar when they got the World Cup. You know, they are friends with
To be fair,
whatever. So everything is corrupt.
Jarvis, to be fair, all of it is corrupt. Everybody who's won a World Cup bid is had to do some.
Platini suddenly
Everybody,
gave the voice, the vote. So, yeah.
everybody's at that level. Everybody's corrupt. Even though they've both been in court, Jarvis. I don't know if you heard it. It was about 6 months ago. They're both not found guilty. I'm like, who's in this? Who is in this? Because if they were to found guilty, then the advertisers might think they expose football corruption. We know that football has always been corrupt, Jarvis.
Yeah.
Even in our own club, we know. Come on, Jarvis. Bebe. For that amount of money. Come on now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fergie used to take bongs. Remember, him Fergie got investigated and Big Sam got investigated by the BBC. Fergie didn't speak to the BBC for 7 years. Go ahead, Ben.
I've got when it comes to PSG, I've got like obviously we were talking about the wage bill, but I've got so much respect for them, man. Like obviously, the support, and I think they've actually grown even more at the support, obviously with Palestine, and all that sort of stuff. But as well as I think, I genuinely do think like PSG's fans, like they're definitely one of the best fans in the world. Like they're crazy. It's a host. The atmosphere every time you go to the Paris Saint-Germain games, it's fucking crazy. So it is. But nah, man, honestly, like big shout out to Luis Enrique, obviously, man, because he's just assembled a squad that's just capable of winning anything, man, and he's just proven it, and he's just proven why he's a top quality coach.
I mean,
he's phenomenal.
He is, like, but the big thing is that, Ben, 100%. I think the fans I agree with. But he's a checkbook manager, like all the top coaches in the world.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's a checkbook manager. Like people just tell me, like Pep Guardiola is is the biggest checkbook manager in the world.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You have to have good players. Somebody famous said back in the day, football is about the quality of players you have.
Yeah,
football is about the quality players you have. Look, we remember with Avram Grant. Chelsea won the Champions League. Avram's not even working. You know what I mean? They won the Champions League because the players, because Drogba, because of Lampard, Terry, the spine, Peter Cech. They wanted to win it. You know what I mean? So yeah, people, have you got 150 likes yet? If you're not, I'll tell you what we're up to in the poll. The poll is saying Omar 28%. We're saying Ineos are falling apart again. Who's next? Omar 30%, Wilcox 4%, Amarin 49%, Bebel 18%. We're thinking who's going to be the person going to get sacked again, but yeah, we can go with that. Please keep voting. Let's do it on your bike, Dave. So let's listen. We said it. We called him Dodgy Dave because the articles are out there. He actually cheated. It's out there. The allegations are there. It's alleged that he cheated. That's why we call him Dodgy Dave. So if he wants to take us to court, so be it. You know what I mean? Take us to court. But he's dodgy. Dodgy Dave. That's why we coined him. Campos actually tried his hardest to keep Mbappe. PSG's found out by accident. If you remember, PSG was still crap until they beat City in the playoffs, where suddenly they clicked. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Actually, they clicked. But this young team, for me, the way that he's found and the scouting to bring the three midfielders together, and Fatinia, for me, is just we wax lyrical about him, how good he is.
Phenomenal.
I think it was the fourth goal in the final. The way it was a free kick. He took it quickly. The way he ball carries. I mean, they said he failed at Wolves, Jarvis. They said he failed at Wolves. Neves was there as well. People forget. Neves and Fatinia were there.
Yeah.
Both of them were at Wolves. But yeah, Dave, for me, is about time. To me, it was all of us told you actually it was a waste of time him being there. Marginal gains, absolute nonsense. It's always been nonsense. And you can never. There are certain sports that you can compare. Cycling to football is like day and fucking night. One's in the night time, the other one is in the daytime. It's like from two different parallel universes. That marginal gains nonsense was just nonsense. That is when you get peak performing teams. Then you can go, how can I get that 1%, 2%, or 2%, 2.5% more to push? It wasn't going to work with Manchester United. And by the way, he's responsible for his review where he sacked people. That's all he's good at, sacking people. But pretending that this football club is like a fucking factory, like a chemical factory, like most Ineos businesses. So the way he even is worded, I don't know if you saw how he's worded, guys, but he is going to focus more on Ineos sports. He stepped down from his position and he stepped wink. He stepped down. Yeah. No, apparently, if you want to know what I'm hearing through the grapevine, he was one of the most disliked people in the fucking football club. Yeah. People will hate him. Middle managers hate him. The staff at United hate him because he's the one responsible for sacking all their colleagues. That is what I'm hearing through the grapevine. Is it not the same Neves? Okay, no, fair enough. Big up.
You're about Ruben Neves.
Was it Ruben Neves? Yeah.
Ruben Neves.
Big up. Big up. But yeah, but Wolves are basically Portuguese football, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
How many Portuguese players they get? But yeah, he's in Al Telial, isn't it? Neves. Yeah, he's in Al Hilal. Sorry, not Al Telial. Al Hilal.
Yeah.
But yeah, people, Dodgy Dave, arrivederci, ciao bella, nebet gilio, dos vedania, adios, au revoir. We said it in 6-7 languages. You know,
goodbye.
Ma'asalam, goodbye. That's 9, Jarvis. 9 languages. Ma'asalam, goodbye, au revoir, adios, auf Wiedersehen. Yeah, dos vidania, nebegelio, ciao. That's 10. We've given the 10 people 10 languages to say tara. It's been a pleasure, Pella. It's not been a pleasure. It's been a miserable, mate. Tara. But let's get into it, people. Obviously, a lot of the rumors are coming out tonight. And obviously, there was also another breaking news tonight about that Osimhen is not going to Al Hilal. That's breaking down. That news has come out. So let's talk about Gyokeres. Gyokeres. I can say it properly now because I spoke to a Swedish person and I said the G is silent. His name in Sweden is spelled Gyokeres. Gyokeres. Not Gyokeres. Gyokeres, apparently. Gyokeres. Like a York. Gyokeres. That's what they told me. They could be wrong. Arrivederci. Ciao bella. That's what we all say. Whoever gets that one. Yeah.
I think you say it like Gyokeres.
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 We got our resident Scandinavian here. Why am I talking to the Swedish? Norwegian,
because it's an O with 2 dots over it. It's pronounced
Gyokeres. Gyokeres. Right. How good is he, Jarvis? Because I don't trust it. Because I don't talk about players that I don't watch. I can't profess to have watched him. I've done the stats, I've looked at it, but the stats can only tell me so much, Jarvis. Stats are what's recorded, reality is what's reality. What I see, the only attribute that I see him is that he likes to run with the ball and he needs space in behind to be able to run down the channels. He comes to the channels and then gets in the box. That's the only thing that I've seen. Yes. The movement he makes, he likes to carry the ball or make runs into the channels, hold the ball up, get it into somebody, and then gun into the box. But that's the only attribute I've seen. His first touch in the Premier League, basically, if your touch in the Portuguese league, your touch in Italy, your touch in other leagues, other than the French, I think the Spanish, you have to have a good touch. But in Portugal, in Holland, not in Holland actually, Holland a bit more technical. The first touch is quite good. But the Premier League first touch, you're not going to get that. If your touch is not secure, you're going to be buried. You're not going to get that time and space to have that touch. So apparently, people are questioning his first touch. But let's break him down. Jarvis and Ben. Ben, first of all, I'll go to you. Before we even get down to the numbers and stuff like that and his way, how he is, do you rate Gyokeres?
Yeah, I rate Gyokeres. He's not my first choice, so I don't particularly want Gyokeres. I don't think he's the right profile we need, which is kind of mad to say because he scored that many goals over these past few seasons. My preferred forward would be Mateta or an Osimhen. I prefer like big, built, strikers like that can, get their head across the ball and stuff. Like like Mateta. Obviously, he has a really good first touch at Crystal Palace. I follow Mateta a lot. I think he's the best profile we need. But if Gyokeres comes, what we're going to get. I do watch Sporting Lisbon a lot. Obviously, I have a really good friend who's from Portugal himself. And he tells me all about Gyokeres. Look, we know we're going to get goals from him, but I think it's not really the goals is the issue. I think it's more so, like you said, Nurden is the first touch. I just don't want it being, and I know he's not going to be as bad as Lukaku, but everyone was getting a wee bit too giddy with Lukaku with his goals, and then look, he came to Man United, and all of a sudden his first touch was just non-existent. I think we haven't had, like, for my type of profile, we haven't had like a more physical striker probably since Ibrahimovic, and look how well he played as in the United shirt, obviously with like 26, 27 goals. But yeah, no, I do like Gyokeres, but he wouldn't be my first choice. It'd be Mateta or Osimhen for me. But yeah, that's my intake with Gyokeres. But he is a good player. He's a good player.
Okay, yeah. For me, I think honestly, I want him. I think he will be perfect for Ruben Amorim because he knows his system. What worries me is the Premier League because we never seen him against great opposition. We've seen him in some games in the Champions League, and yeah, he did well. He scored a lot of goals in Champions League too. I think he scored 8 goals, if I remember correctly, and that's good numbers when it comes to the biggest competition in the world. But it's his movement is not a out and out striker. I would say he's more of a forward. So I think he will suit perfectly in the fluent front three because he likes to drift. He likes to drift from the wide and into the box, and that's how he creates space for himself. He starts centrally, moves out, makes the defender come, and then he attack the space, and he attack the space with pace, with power, and he's very determined when he moves into the box. And when you look at his eyes, his head, and his movement, he looks down on the ball, and he's very clean when he hits the ball. He has a powerful hit, heads down, arm out, balance. It's like a textbook striker how he strikes the ball. So it's very impressive. And in the Portuguese league, he comes from both the left side and the right side, cuts inside and shoots. But he has one big weakness, how I see it, and that's his left foot. He has a weak left foot.
Yeah.
So when you cut to your right and shoot with your right foot, he makes a perfect strike every time. But when it comes from the left, cut to the left and shoot with his left foot, it's not the same. It's far from the same. So I feel he will maybe. My prediction is maybe he will lose his confidence coming to the Premier League because they're tighter, the stronger defenses. So he will stop using his left foot and he will be predictable. It will be an easy read for the defender because he will cut to the right and try to shoot with the right. So I don't think we will see 50 goals or even 30 goals when it comes to Gyokeres. if we sign him, I think he will provide at least 20 goals, and that's far more than we can ever dream Højlund can produce. So Gyokeres is a great striker, but it's his weak left foot. It worries me a little bit, and also he's a selfish striker when it comes to his finishing. He looks down. He doesn't provide many assists. I think he had 8 assists during every game in the last season, including the Swedish national team. That's okay for a striker, but and I like the strikers to be selfish. I want them to go for the goal themselves,
Facts.
but sometimes you should keep your head up. So I don't think we can expect him to provide a lot to our other forwards when it comes to the box. And I think maybe we'll get criticized for being selfish. We all gone down on going at Garnacho, saying that he's always selfish, trying to shoot. Why do you shoot all the time? And you see the same with Garnacho, keeping his head down, not paying attention to everything that's around him, and just shooting every time he tries to cut in from the 18-yard box. So there are some worries, but I'm on board with the Gyokeres train, and I would love us to sign him. I think he's a good striker, but he has some weaknesses, and then we have to be aware of it. It's also about the Premier League, but because a lot of things when I talk about Højlund and his weaknesses is about separation. You have to be strong enough and smart enough to separate from your centre back to create the space you need. And I think the in a slower league it's easier to separate. You saw it with Højlund in Serie A. You see it, and you can. I think you will see it with Gyokeres also. He will struggle to separate because when you are centrally in front of box area 14, as I like to call it, the square in front of the 18-yard box. If you drag yourself out to the wide area, I bet you a lot of the centre backs will just follow him and mark him tightly, so he won't get that extra yard, that extra space he need to turn with the ball and then drive and attack. So I think he will struggle a little bit because of the physicality and the level of the centre backs. But time will show. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my assessments when it comes to Gyokeres.
And like I said, like he played for Coventry. I like players that came from the Championship. And I didn't think he was ready after Coventry. I think going to Sporting or going to any other league was vital for him. And like I said, it could work out for us. The fact that he has played in one of the most competitive leagues in the world, which is the Championship. So we might have a chance here. We might have a good player in our hands. Obviously he did well at Sporting anyways. So look, I will happily take Gyokeres, but Mateta is my go-to striker right now. I love Mateta.
Yeah, big up. I'm gonna use the second part of your name, Chicane 909. He says Gyokeres is of Hungarian descent through his paternal grandfather who immigrated to Sweden and is a dual citizen of Hungary and Sweden. His father, Stefan Gyokeres, played football for IFK Östersund.
Yeah,
Östersund. Yeah, Östersund in the 80s and 90s. Wow. Big up. Are you Swedish yourself? Big up to you for the education. See, late night, there's no rules. Late night, you get educated. Jarvis, everything that I looked up, when I looked him up, they said that he's the biggest thing is his physicality. And when I've seen him in the Champions League and when little games and what I watched on him, he's too fast for everybody and he's too strong for the Portuguese league, right? Now, the Premier League is where the physical monsters live, Jarvis. Where you get no time. So if your first touch is not right, Tara, but his positioning, like you said, what you described, I've seen him even against Man City. He would go out wide in the Champions League and score goals and then run into the box. One of the best things about him, though, that I looked up before we started this show, I was looking up when I was setting the thing up, is that his positioning in the box is quite clever. It's quite clever, to be fair. For a striker, movement in the box, positioning in between and a blind side of central defenders, play into him sufficient. If you provide the quality, and my biggest problem, Jarvis, Lesso, welcome, King. Hope you well. Trebles is back as well. Hopefully, it'll be better sound now. But
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly now.
Loud and
So
clear.
much better. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. You had there was a glitch in the matrix. People, there's 200 of you, and we're not even got 150 likes yet. And we've been live for 45 minutes. Come on. We don't ask you for anything. We just ask you to fucking like the video, man. Just come on, people. Smash a like. Wakey. Late night therapy. Late night therapy. Let's be having you. But the biggest thing for me is that, and I'm going to go to Lesso first, and I'm going to come around to you lot. Who's going to provide? The biggest thing, I'm going to do a video next week, and I want you all to be involved. I think we're missing a big thing. I think people are just looking for goals and goals, but who the fuck is going to give them the ball? If the midfield are not going to win the ball back and give it out to the wide guys to get it in the box and put the balls back in and hemp teams in, who's going to do it, Lesso? So are we just going ho on things? Who's going to pass the ball to Gyokeres? Who's going to pass the ball to fucking to Cunha? Who's going to pass the ball to Mbermo? Who? What are we doing out here? Do they think we're simpletons? Are we playing three football? Just three footballers? Forget five aside. Are we playing with three? Is that what we do with three aside? Talk to me, Lesso. Because I'm concerned. I'm seriously concerned.
Big up to the panel.
Big up,
and
Lesso.
big up to the chat as well.
Big
And
up.
yeah, guys, I think this is pretty much simple. We're not really aggressively looking for win backs, and it's very alarming actually. And as much as I love the fact that we are focused on trying to get people who can score up front, but we missed the important part, which I've always reiterated, that is the wing backs. We're seeing wing backs go to other football clubs. We know we play with, we need the usage of wing backs to create chances and to, put the ball in the box, or even link up to with the front three as well, as they are in the system, pivotal to that. And we are not even strengthening that department. Dogu's not going to do that. And I told people here that Dogu's going to start next season. And it's looking more than likely that he will be he'll be the starting player in that position as well. So I don't see us signing or maybe at best we may sign a wingback if we're lucky. But I think at this point, I don't think we're going to sign any. And hence why the chance creation we may find ourselves in a similar position. But obviously this time around, we'll get away with it because we have clinical finishers up front. So obviously the lower chances that we create, we may be a bit more clinical than as opposed to last season, because we didn't have people who could put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, you look at Cunha, you look at Mbuemo. Both of them are double-figure players easily. They scored they score in the double figures and consistently. So we will slightly improve in terms of the goal scoring, but I don't think in the chance creation we will improve that much, because we are not looking at any of the wingbacks so far. Until that changes, I think nothing really changes. You look at our midfield position, it's going to be Bruno again in the 8. And unfortunately, that is a detriment to how we want to play anyways. And progressively we missed, I think we missed the sitter here in letting him go, because if we had got maybe for say we have sold him, we had 100 million in cash, and that cash can be reinvested in terms of installments with the play the rightful, maybe we buy 2 midfielders in there that can obviously progress the ball and be able to retain position as well. So the midfield is pretty much dead. There's no balance there. Personally, if you have Bruno and you have all these guys, and then who plays next to Bruno? Is it Casemiro again? Are we not? I thought we were gonna sell Casemiro, but unfortunately, he's gonna be here. Ugarte is gonna be here. So it's not really what people think is gonna happen. It's we're not gonna magically change and become this team of a force of nature or whatever. We still have a poor midfield that's gonna be run through. Obviously, there's going to be spaces because Bruno cannot maintain his position. He has no positional sense, and his ball retention abilities are very low as such. and leaves us open. Teams will continue to expose that midfield. The system is very flawed. And as I said in the previous show, is that, teams already know how we play. It's a system you use once off. It's not one that you build on. It should not be your base in any of that sort. Teams plan for you very easily in the system. They just know that all they have to do is just overload the midfield and ensure that they attack your white spaces, because you don't have peak players in those spaces, And as such, unfortunately, I don't see a lot changing. I think Amorim personally will be gone before December. I honestly do think so, because if we're spending the amount of money that we're spending right now and we're bringing these type of players in, and the results are not drastically changing, which I see them not changing based on what I've already seen from last season anyways. I'm unfortunately, if he's not anywhere in the top 5 or top 6 come November or anywhere, these guys may have itchy trigger fingers, and then they may end up trying to go for an interim manager, because like we forget that we've been so terrible the previous season. It's been atrocious to watch. I could not personally. All I want to do is see good football. I don't see it happening. The team is not balanced, and we're going with sentiment a lot. People forget that we're going to have Dogu. I mean, at the end of the day, you look at individuals we have as well. I mean, Dogu, what is he good at? If we're being honest, I look at some of the players that are going to be starting next season. What is he good at? His ceiling is very low. He doesn't have a very high
to be
ceiling.
fair, to be fair, it's difficult to judge a young player who came in at a difficult time and who was throwing
I hear that.
with a shit team. So it's really difficult
I hear
to
that.
judge him. It's really difficult to judge him.
I hear that, but with in terms of, if you look at even in the Italian Serie A, he wasn't really linked with. None of you Juventus were looking at this guy, or Inter Milan, or any of these guys. He was not linked, not even linked once with any of these teams.
To be fair, Inter Milan were looking at him for a minute. Let's be right.
But
they were linking him. Maybe it was just to scare United into buying him. That could be it.
Yeah. But but anyways, let's just see what Doggy. At least Doggy Dave is out of the way. That's a plus that I'll take any other day. But other than that, let's just see what we do. But in terms of Gyokeres, I think great signing. He would be a great signing. I don't think he would struggle as much as people think he would, because he knows more or less what the Premier League would pose in terms of challenges and stuff. He has played in the Championship before, so he does know what he probably adapted from the last part, and he has learned from his lessons from there, and he took them elsewhere. Hence why he looks even way better than he should be looking in this.
Lesso, Saeed said check your messages.
Oh, I'll definitely check them out.
Yeah, big up. Oh, Saeed is in Johannesburg. Big up, Saeed. Big up, Saeed. I hope you're enjoying it. Listen, Saeed, you need to go out rave, man. The Southern Africans are some of the craziest ravers I know. Trust me. You need to go out and rave, man. You need to go out. Lesso, you need to take him to a rave, man. Guam rave, yeah. Take Saeed to a Guam night. You know what I mean? Forget I'm a piano. Take him to that proper Afro house night, man. You know what I mean? When everybody's dancing around the bottle, the bottle of beer, they put it down and they put it on the head.
Saeed shouldn't shoot videos in the mornings, because we've got those noisy birds, by the way. He was shocked in the.
Oh yeah, say not. I say not. I say not. Oh, big up, Saeed.
Yeah. Listen,
big up people.
Big up people that I've not seen in a while. Big up Nick Nash. I've not seen Nick Nash in a while. Big up Mateo. Big up Saeed. Make sure get him nearly 200k people. Let's go. Saeed should be on 500,000. He's a grafter, people. Yeah, go and check out everything, all the content on his channel, all of his vlogs. He's enjoying Africa, man. He's loving being back in Africa, man. He's having it. He's Africa in our African soil. Yo,
can you hear me now, Brody?
Yeah, Saeed. Yo, go to the governmental buildings and tell them what we did for the ANC, man. What our people in East Africa did, what we did for them, man. Talk to them. Let them tell you the true story. Yeah, historian like me knows. I know exactly what go on in, how we were involved in the anti-apartheid movement. Go ahead, Trebles. Talk to me. He's sleeping. Trebles sleeping, mate.
No, I'm here. I'm going in bed in 20 minutes. So yeah. I just wanna.
Who's gonna pass the ball to these three players that up front?
No one. Clueless. No one. What he said. You know the system that Amran tries to play. I find it very, very confusing. Now, the other day, I've had someone on your show, or someone said it. I don't know if it's yours or someone else on social media said it. Amran ain't gonna respect this midfield. It's worrying. If you know what he's done this season and going to next season, yeah, I'm literally worried. I'm not worried about the bigger teams, yeah, into an extent. I use my words wisely because we intend to raise our level. That's what they say, yeah. I'm worried when we go to the likes of Newcastle, the likes of, we could say Forest, the likes of Brighton, Palace. You could throw them in the mix. I'm generally worried. Listen to me. You know me, Nuruddin. Me, I'm up the same page as you. I'm most pessimistic cunt ever, bro. I can have no positivity.
I'm not pessimistic. Listen, I'm not pessimistic. I just see the reality.
No.
I don't try to brainwash myself into toxic positivity. The reality, man, you're only good as where you finish. We're 15th and we lost 18 fucking games. If that's not shit, then I don't know what it is. Where's this toxic positivity coming from? I'm not having it. I'm not gonna lie to myself. Go ahead.
Yeah. I needed to word my thing properly, innit? But this is what most of these guys do. We get signings, get Kiddy, say this, we're back. Oh, when it says, remember what you said in your song? Back to life, back to reality. Because you see me, yeah, I stopped going to the game after we lost 3-0 to Spurs. That was on the Ten Hag, yeah. United have said to me, you got renew your membership. I said to them, no, I've blocked them from renewing it. Why am I going to go to games? Even if Amra goes tomorrow, I'm not going. What is there to enjoy to go Old Trafford? What is the last times I've been Old Trafford? Do you want to know the scores? Bournemouth 3-0. I was there, live in the flesh. Thingy, what do you call Tottenham, which I just mentioned. What's the other one? Brighton. Who else did we lose to? Palace. Why should I go? All these why? Like I don't. It's not even about in the way of losing. It's how you lose. Like I said, there's no shame in losing. I'd rather us lose knowing we went for it. The only time I would have said if we would have lost that game is at Liverpool at Anfield on the Amron. That was the best game we've ever played. And Everton, we won 4-0. These two specific games, even though one of them we didn't win, that was the best football we've ever played.
Listen, don't forget the City game. That's I
don't think
game. We were the better team. We won. City was sitting back. City was just we dominated City. We beat them comfortably.
City game. I can't find no positivity, and I don't. We can get a lot of players in. Yeah, I want to speak to Jim about his PSR thing that you were talking about. I'll get into that in a minute. To me, I don't just see a direction where we're heading as a football club right now. Listen, to me, whether Amro goes today, tomorrow, I couldn't care less. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's come to the stage where I don't care if he stays, goes. I'm over it. But now, when we get onto Ineos about this PSR thing, now I just seen your message earlier because I was at work. Ineos, yeah, bro, to me, everything they do, the propaganda, the brainwash, the koalas, the fan base, you know the people that will always defend them are the bootlickers, like you said. They will do anything to, they'll say, Ineos had the best window. They signed. If we get Gyokeres and Benway, which just looks like he's done, correct. If unless Ormsty Popper said it's done. To okay, Nicky watch Ineos give us 10 out of 10 window. We're doing good. Only to finish fucking mid-table. We only to finish. I don't see a direction. You can this propaganda and Project 2028. Forget about it, mate. Where we are and we finished last season, it's a reality check to the guys upstairs. They ain't got a fucking clue. Now I say this right now and here and then someone can go, yeah. Let's sign the world, which means Gyokeres, Osimhen, for example, and what do you call another midfielder. What's going to change? To me, this club right now, Nuruddin, I know you don't want them. We would have been better off with the Qatars. And I know people are going to bash me for this. I know it's not going to happen. Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Yeah, we would have been better off with them. That would have been clear. We wouldn't be sitting 15th. We wouldn't even have this manager in charge. The records and the losses he's making, tolerating that. And no way we would be in a position where we are in the league. Absolutely not. Yeah, big up Abs Busquets. He said it. Some of these players are shit. We are not a 15 table team. The whole entire club from top to bottom. You know what? I think we're going to go to that Liverpool route for 30 years. Because imbeciles upstairs haven't got a fucking Scooby from the elbow to the backside how to run a football club. He's a fucking bicycle man. How are you going to tell him to run a football club? He ain't got a clue. When these fans have come up to us and told us, be careful. He does not give a shit. The only fucking thing he gives a fuck about is his own fucking pocket. Why do you think the season ticket prices are going up? Why do you think the membership prices are going up? Why do you think fucking whatever things? Why do you think a lot of things are going? Why do you think he's sacking canteen staffs left, right, centre? People have been there for long years. The old man that had to get sacked from the fucking his workplace. How do you think this fucking rat gives a fuck about the club because he put 100 million in his own pocket?
Well, unfortunately, that's what people are swallowing, but only time will tell. I'll move on to Jarvis. Jarvis, who's going to pass the ball to these guys? Who's going to pass the ball to these guys, Jarvis? Genuinely,
Yeah,
that's
there's always Bruno, but we heard some updates on Martinez. He will be back in September. Training. So
by that time, Manchester United could lose 4 or 5 games, Jarvis.
Yeah, we always lose games when it comes to the beginning of the season. You know that. But it's only because we're knackered traveling all around the world. That's how Man United do it. But Martinez is a great passer on the ball. We have Lenioro is a great passer. As long as we can get those wide centre backs going, because I think knowing the Amorim system from Sporting, not Man United, the wide centre backs are the playmakers in this system. We also have Bruno, obviously. He will play in the pivot with Casemiro or Ugarte. Will be interesting to see. I know your take on Bruno. I think he struggles the most when it comes to our build-up play, because when we try to build up from the back, it's very difficult.
Nuruddin, I'm going to say
he's not press resistive, so he can't receive the ball with his back against the opposition goal. So I think we will struggle a little bit. But the good thing is, if we get 3 forwards in, we can start cheating the build-up. You know, we can just attract the pressure and
hit them long,
open up that pocket.
Hit them long.
Mainly in the middle of the pitch, in the middle of the mid-circle. That's the pocket you want to open up, and then we just play over their press. So we will have another element.
What about low blocks? How are we going to fare against low blocks, Jarvis? Here, like in Burmo. So for me, the only way I see this, because we've all watched that, Jarvis, and I'll stay with you for a minute. I'll go to Ben and then Lesso. The only space on this Amorim system where there's acres of space is in the wing backs. That's the only place where is space on this football pitch is between the wing backs. Even when we play against low block, they always, teams that we play low block against, Jarvis, you know what they do? They shut us down the middle. Because they, you know what I mean? They're like, give the ball to, we know that Doggy's not going to do anything. We know that can't even fucking say his name. Obrigado tax.
Who on the right?
Yeah, Obrigado tax. Who's the wing back that plays on the right? Portuguese guy.
Oh, Dello.
Dello.
Delo.
Yeah. That
Dello.
guy.
Yeah, they go. Give him the fucking ball. What is he gonna do? He ain't gonna do shit. So this is where you want to get your creative players, Jarvis, your attacking creative players into the spaces where the space is. You want to position them where they can get a bit more space and freedom. So is Cunha going to be a wing back? Is Mbemo going to be a wing back? Is Ahmad now certified to be a wing back now that we bring in 2 number 10 stroke wide attackers? Like,
Yeah. You ask a lot of good questions.
The space is in the width. The space is in that area. The 2 players who find themselves in the most space in the game is Diallo and Doggy. They're the 2 people. So, for me, your best players, you should give them the space and the freedom to be able to do what they need to do to get a strike on goal. That's what they need. And I just, at this moment in time for me, I'm like, who's winning the ball back, Jarvis, and sustaining their attacks? Who's going to win the ball back? And especially when you're playing against low block, who's going to interrupt the counter attacks against us if we push a highlight? Why the fuck are we still playing with Harry Maguire, who's slow? Why the fuck are we going to keep and play with Casemiro, who's also slow? And we've got to give 10 yards. We've got to protect them both. The fan base is too fucking gassed at the moment to be asking themselves these vital fucking questions.
Yeah, it's a fantastic question, and you are right. There are too many holes in our squad at the moment to be able to compete, and I think it's a fantasy sitting here saying we will be top 8 next season. I don't think so. I think it will be difficult, even with Gyokeres coming in, and we have Mbeumo and Cunha. It's just the way it is because there's too many holes. And you're right. It's all about how are you going to create those chances. It's most likely because we will try to use the shift pass, the shift of play from one side to the other side, and then it's up to the wing backs to drive with the ball, and then we can come with more power, more pace into the box. We will have 3 attackers most likely helping.
One more last time, but Jarvis. But the wing backs are doing that, Jarvis. You and Stu, and I've jumped on a couple of times on the Tactical Devils channel, and you broke it down again and again. Teams pinning us fucking back. We play in a back 5, and then we play 2, and then we go 3 of you. Go on. We hoof the ball up to you and go and work it out. That's not football, Jarvis. So when teams pin us back, we play a back 5, and then we're caged. We're caged.
Yeah, but the thing is, Noradin, how do they pin us back? They go man.
Oh, man, yes.
And even the centre backs. We remember Dan Burn, for example.
Yes.
Pinning down. Was it Ahmad? High up our pitch. But it will be difficult when we have more potent attackers, when we have actually players who can do something. It's not Højlund or Garnacho we are talking about. We are talking about Mbeumo, who scored 20 goals last season. Cunha scored 17 goals last season. And if you get Gyokeres guy who scored 55 goals for all teams, including the international team last season, it will be difficult for opposition team, even Newcastle or the high-pressing good team, Bournemouth, to actually do that. Go man. You have to. You are taking a really, really big risk, exposing yourself man to man, and even one against one in the back. So I don't think team will be willing to take that risk when they play against the front 3 like that. So I think it will give our defense more lee room, more space to actually create with the ball deep. But time will tell. But I think the Gyokeres thing is vital, because then we can start counterattacking more, and we know counterattack football suits Man United really well. And Amorim, he likes to shift in between counterattacking football and possession football. That's why it's quite hard to pin down in one type of style. We talk about the 3-4-3, but what is he actually doing? Are we playing possession football? Are we playing direct? Are we playing counterattacking football? Are we playing long ball? So he's doing all of these things at once. It depends on the opposition. So I think we will see a different Man United next season because of the material up front. But it's just I don't have a good answer, because we still have too many holes in this system. But it will be more difficult for teams doing the same thing as they did. They can't bully us around at the same way they did this year.
Fair enough. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Ben. Ben, who's gonna pass the ball to these forwards if they do come? By the way, let's get the one facts right. We've only signed one player. Let's not get giddy. We're talking like, here, look at us. We're talking like we've got Mbeumo, got Gyokeres, and Cunha. We've only signed one. Let's get the reality check. Back to life, back to reality. But Ben, in the hypothetical question, all three of them signed before the preseason tour. Who the F is going to pass them the ball? We've broken down. Jarvis has eloquently broke down Bruno. He can't receive it back to goal. We already know now Cunha is going to be occupying the space, and Cunha is going to be even occupying the space that Xerxes occupies, and it's going to be giving it, because that's how you get the best out of Cunha. Cunha has to roam in that area, come deep, pick up the ball, turn, because he's very good at dribbling. He's quick on the ball, actually eating up the yards and taking the ball out wide. So who's going to pass the fucking ball to them?
First things first. I think not like with Bruno Fernandes. I think this is where the issue lies, because not selling him is probably the biggest red flag, and it's really put us under pressure at the moment with all this shit going on. One thing I do have hope is Mbeumo's crossings, like, and I don't really judge players off stats, but I really
Can I just hold you there, Ben? I don't want to be rude. Can I just hold you there? Jarvis,
go ahead, pick up,
you wanted to share something before on the screen. Apologies, I just saw it before. But what did you want to share before I moved of you? Before we went to Ben?
No. We can do that. It's okay. Related to other things. Let's just go through this segment.
Yeah, big up anyways. Obviously Mbeumo's stats are phenomenal in terms of, like, you know, crossing the issue is with these strikers we've had in the past is none of them ever get any service at all. Like, who's going to pass them and all that sort of stuff. And the issue is with our wingers, like, we've never really had wingers in the past that, you know, their first instinct would be to cross the ball. They would always be, right, take the man on and be fucking Ronaldo, like, you know, just be Mr. Superstar. So now we've brought in Mbeumo. Mbeumo, I think, is one of them ones that I think his first priority would be to look for the striker. I don't think he'd be Mr. Superstar. You know, obviously we've seen the crosses he's put in for Brentford, and the Wissa has been phenomenal. And I think it's Sciatti, I think his name is, in the left wing. But his crossing stats have been phenomenal. And that's what's given me a wee bit of confidence. I think he will. Obviously he will complement with Cunha, and if Gyokeres signs as well. I do like that. I do have hope in terms of, like, there will be, like, the front three will definitely they will connect with each other, obviously. Not like comparative, like with Højlund, Garnacho, and Rashford, and, you know, all these players. The biggest issue obviously is this midfield, man. I really do worry about it a lot. Bruno, obviously, when Bruno gets under pressure and we need to get a goal back, or we need to score quickly, the one thing that Bruno always will do is hoof the ball up, and, you know, that's just not going to help our attack at all. And this is why Bruno needed to get sold this summer, like it or not. And, you know, if we had a Wharton, if we had a Baleba in there, it's a completely different story. And like I said, like, I heard people, like, you know, saying, like, well, why is Maguire still here? Why is, you know, like, we can all talk about this, but, you know, I keep bringing this up every time, every video to you, Nerdin, but, you know, we're not talking about the bigger picture. Why is Onana still here? Like, you know, this is it. And I think Jarvis was absolutely spot on when he spoke about the centre backs. I think it's so crucial to have, you know, playmaker centre backs. Like, you know, that's why Lenny Euro, obviously a big fan of his, because, you know, sometimes he actually pushes up towards the final third. I'm like, is this Lenny Euro actually attacking? And this is what obviously Amber wants for his centre backs. And although obviously we might not be in for centre backs, I don't particularly think the centre backs situation is vital. I think the midfield and the wing backs, get them two sorted, and then we can then discuss the defense. But right now, Nerdin, like, I'm sort of with Jarvis right now in terms of the midfield. I've got no answers, because I have no faith in Bruno Fernandes at all, or Ugarte or Cass, but I do have some faith and like hope that Mbuemo, will whip in crosses, will whip in with like do 1-2s with Gyokeres. But and this as well, man. Like we had the perfect opportunity to sign Aït-Nouri to have that left wing back role. If we had Aït-Nouri and Mbuemo in that attacking role, that is a different kettle of fish. I would say to you right now, Norden, yes, the midfield's the biggest issue, but we've got wing backs that can whip the ball in to our number 9. But now that he's going to City, that's out of the story. And I don't know, man. Like I don't have an answer, man, because like you got Bruno, you got Ugarte and Casemiro. None of them just they can't even fucking play a fucking 5-yard pass at times. But yeah, big up.
Listen, people, big up. We've got like 218 people in here a minute ago. Please smash a like on the video. Let's get to 200 likes. Let's get to 200 likes ASAP. It costs you absolutely nothing. Who's going to pass them the ball? Who's going to pass? Have I already asked you this question? Have I already asked you? Who's going to pass these people the ball? Like, sorry, it was trebles first. Trebles.
No. I think I was just going to say because it's too late in it. Before I wrap up in it, big up everybody, Jarvis, everybody, Nuruddin. I won't really look at Amad Diallo. That's it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No worries.
Big up anyway. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Big up. Yeah, let's go. I find it difficult. This toxic positivity bullshit. For me, I said Manchester United to go on fight 6th or 7th or 8th. We need 7 starting lineup. Jarvis the other night said actually 5. You can see maybe 4 or 5. You think that maybe we need, but I 100% think we need a faster centre half. I think all of our centre halves are centre prone, and I think one of the big things you cannot do, Jarvis, and to get any stability in any football club, because we're not going to be playing in Europe. We're not going to be flying everywhere in Europa League next season. We're going to be playing this. You need to have stability in the back 3.
Yeah.
You need solid stability in the back 3. The goalkeeper, the back 3 need to stay the same. Because that has to have, there you build combinations, Jarvis, Ben and Lesso. There's where you start relationships, and football is only about relationships. It's about combination play on the football pitch.
Facts.
So for me, and I don't see any of them staying fit. I think De Ligt is injury prone. I think Maguire is getting more injury prone the older he gets, and I don't actually rate him. I know everybody gets gassed about him, but I don't rate him. He left the ball. We saw that in the final. He leaves the ball. You don't fucking leave the ball when you got shitty Luke Shaw behind you and you've got a dodgy keeper like Onana. So at the end of the day, there are more holes in this team, but everybody's just focused and everybody thinks, Jarvis, Ben and Lesso, we need goals. No, we need physicality up the pitch. So yes, Mbemo will bring a certain physicality and athleticism. Gyokeres will bring some of that. Cunha will bring some of like ball carrying and scoring speculative goals. Yes, but we also need people be able to pass to them. And we're also how we defend them, because we concede goals. How many goals did we concede this season? We conceded goals, people. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll get it up and show you. No problem. Let me just show you how many goals we conceded in the league this season.
Yep.
This ain't going away, people. Don't get it fucking twisted. This ain't going away. This shit is not going away. We're 15th for a reason. We've conceded, look.
54.
54 goals.
Embarrassing.
54 goals. We scored 44. If that gets up, we still conceded 54 goals. Mine is 10 goal difference. It's embarrassing. Because everybody, Jarvis, Lesso, is telling me our defense is really fantastic. No, I don't know.
Yeah, but 10, 12, 15 of those goals is Onana. It's on Onana. Or
he's still here, Jarvis. He's still here. He's still here.
Yeah, he's still here. He's still here.
And the plan
but I have to be honest, Nordin, I don't think the defense is a big problem. I think we have okay defenders.
Jarvis' defense is a problem.
Okay, I think Euro is okay. I think Martinez is okay. The youngsters, Fredrickson and Heaven is okay. I think we have at least 5 okay defenders.
But Jarvis, the problem is that the defense is a problem because we defend with 5, we still fucking concede goals, and the wing backs don't offer anything off the pitch. They don't offer anything. They don't contribute to everything. So we play with 5 at the Jarvis. We shouldn't be conceding at all when you play 5 at the fucking back. You should be tight. You should be tight when you're playing 5 at the back. But we concede goals. Anytime the ball goes in the box, there is trouble.
Yeah.
And the guy who's here is still here. We get done by that
I think
Diag. Euro this season's been done by that Diag. Masraoui's been done by that Diag. A lot of people have been ducked by, that Diag. Remember, they were doing it on the Ollie against Juan Bissaka. Remember, Juan Bissaka could not defend that Diag ball that goes into the full-back area between the centre-half and him. How many goals have we conceded that time? Go ahead, Lesso.
You're talking about defending the back post now when the cross comes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this time we've conceded a lot more goals in central area. It's not just the back post. It's actually between the central centre half and the third centre half. The 2 centre halves. Go ahead, Lesso.
Because they got dragged out of position a lot of the times. Sorry, Lesso.
We get lopsided. Yeah. Go ahead, Jab. And also, Jabbers, when you have this last thing, when you got too many defenders in that area, they leave it to each other. Oh, you do it. Like fucking Maguire did in the final. It was like, oh, Luke Shaw's, they'll cover me. That's what the false sense of security, which is bullshit. You've played football. At times, Jarvis, I didn't want players to come close to me to help me.
No,
I'm like,
no. You don't want that. Yeah.
Yes. Stay in your position.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Stay in your position. And I'm sorry, Jarvis. A lot of people celebrate, but Bruno is the worst footballer I have seen in my life for that. He just runs like a fucking headless chicken everywhere.
Facts.
How are you supposed to get a system to work where people stay in their defined positions when you've got a headless chicken guy? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I'm letting you know. 100 million could have bought us fucking a goalkeeper, a wing back, and a centre back, and a midfielder. Go ahead.
Let's hope.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's self-explanatory, to be honest. We're just all over the place. I think everything that you've just stated there goes back to the system that we've been talking about. At the end of the day, with the defenders as well, we don't know if we're defending with a back 7 or a back 5. At times, like, it's just all over the place. I think there's just no cohesiveness. I don't think the players are as bad as the system is making them up to look out to be honest as well. We've had worse individual players at the back, and they've actually conceded less goals. So I'm not even gonna go into that, to be honest. But it just shows you that this system, to be honest, the players don't know what to do personally. No one knows who they have to mark. You see it all the time. And everyone who delegates what. All these players are just all over the place. And most of the time they are caught out of position. Most of the time you see 3 people marking the same person. It's just a shambles to watch. It's like watching a bunch of grade two players, playing, trying to defend. It's like it's one of those. It goes back to the system. Like I said, will the system work in this Premier League? And so far, with Amorim, that trial test has failed dismally. If you want to change the system, you have to spend, or at least get in between 7 to 8 players minimum. If you want to really see change, because I don't see us getting those many players. That's how I know that everything's gonna go tits up. And it's unfortunate, but you can see where this road is going. This manager is gonna be half backed, as we're looking, and it's also his fault. He wanted Bruno to stay. The Bruno money is easy 100 million cash. You're not gonna get that from anyone else. If we're being honest, there's no other player you're gonna point out in our team where a team's gonna offer 100 million in cash for them. That was a missed opportunity for us. I've said this, and unfortunately, it's going to come back to bite us because now we have to depend on sales to get more players in. The reason why we're being delayed as it is for more signings is because we're waiting for sales to go through. That's what it is, and that's why I don't buy this notion that the reason why we didn't sell Bruno is because we told him that we already have cash. Like, that's some bullshit. I'm sorry, because otherwise most of these signings would have been through the door right now. It's clear that we are dependent on sales before we get in players in. So unfortunately for you guys, you're gonna see a lot of late signings as a result, and we're not gonna get the amount of signings that we would have gotten had we got that 100 million in cash. That's 100 million in cash. You're not getting in installments. You're not. It's right reflection. It reflects in your bank account. So unfortunately, that just shows you how poorly run the club is. Because I'm honestly speaking, even the rival fans are laughing at this. Because how on earth a person who's turning 31 has been offered 100 million in cash and you turning it down in place of not rebuilding your team? You want to play a certain formation, you want to play a certain system, you require a certain amount of players. You choosing to, sacrifice all that to keep a 31-year-old whom you cannot fit in your system at all. He plays all over the place in the midfield position, trying for Amorim to try and find a suitable place for him to play in, and yet you can't sell him for 100 million. For me, it doesn't make sense. It really stinks, to be honest, and it shows that we've got people who are sabotaging the club at the moment.
Well,
If
it's
it's
what
not
it
the
is.
manager,
Yeah. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Jarvis, you can bring in your pieces now, and I'll go quick to Ben. Ben, at this moment in time, as we sit here, we can only talk about what is here. We can't talk about what's going to happen back, there and then. But for me, there's massive holes, and I stand by what I stand by. 7 first-team players in this team to go into that, to plug the holes. That's the only way that we're going to see it. Because you can buy all the attacking players you want. I've seen teams with great attacking players. If nobody's there to win the ball back, to sustain the passes, and there's not massive gaps. That's what I'm talking about. I don't want massive gaps between the players, the attacking players and our defensive players, because look where we go to. Massive hole in the middle, and we will get exploited all day because we haven't got the physicality. Bruno hasn't got the physicality. Ugate's got physicality, but the way he likes to play him, Stu and Jarvis talk about it. Ugate's up the pitch. He's hunting the ball down up the pitch while Bruno's on the headless chicken runs. So at the end of the day, how optimistic are you, obviously, from the signings, if you can get them over the line? You said you rather have Mateta, yeah? Because he's proven in the Premier League. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to this system, like, that's the least of my concerns. Same with Amorim. Like, I don't really care if he's here or not. Like, as long, like, the most important thing is if Amorim gets sacked, you've got players coming in there. Like, if Buemo signs and Gyokeres, like, there is quality, like, that we're actually buying. That's not all deadwood we're buying right now. But in terms of optimistic, man, I mean, I just think, yeah, the attacks, it's a massive improvement. Like, if we get the two over the line, like Gyokeres and Buemo, but it's just the football is always won in the midfield, man. Like, people just don't see it. Like, they just think, oh, goals, this. Like, it's always the attack. No, it's always been the midfield, man. And
I think more than any other game, the Champions League flipping game proved it.
Yeah.
Can we just say that?
Yeah.
Barella struggled in that final. I don't know if you watched it. I watched it again. Barella struggled.
It was bad.
They were too quick. They were too fast. They were too mobile. They were too passing the technical ability. And Barella looked old. The Turkish brother, because what's the name? I always forget his name. Oh, the Turkish midfielder for Inter Milan. He looked old. Mkhitaryan looked really old.
Yeah, Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, those three looked really old. But go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, at the end of the day, man, like PSG, Newcastle, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, like I can name so many fucking, even Barcelona, Madrid. all these teams play with 3 in the midfield, not 2. And we have played 3 in the midfield, but we always play with 2-6 and 1-10. Selling Bruno Fernandes was so key because after him, obviously with Eriksen leaving, we don't have another number 10. I want us to go back to how, you know, PSG play. Like, I just want us to go back to like have 3 players just know the attacking situation, to know the defense, how to defend and how to attack, man. Like, I just think we need, like, over these last 13, 14 years, whatever, how long since Sir Alex left, the biggest issue has been the midfield. It's not been our mid attack. It's not been our defense. Hell, it's not been our fucking goalkeeper because we had De Gea, obviously, all these years, and now we've got another problem with Onana. I just want us to go back to having, like, just 3 in the midfield, man. And I don't think we're going to get anywhere with, like, the system, personally, because I don't really like playing through the width. I've always preferred playing through the midfield. I remember this, if any Irish people in the chat, I remember when Michael O'Neill was coaching Northern Ireland, when Northern Ireland qualified for the Euros. We played a 4-2-3-1, and he then the fans were actually getting really, really critical about him, and he was getting critical in the press. Says, "Why don't you play for the midfield, Michael?" And he says, "Well, if the fans are telling me this, then I might have to adapt my system." And he adapted. Now, we played 5-4-1, right? Now, it's very defensive. Now, obviously, Northern Ireland's not really a particularly great football team, but we had Stephen Davis, we had Paddy McNair in the midfield.
I
We had
remember.
we had so many like decent, solid midfield players. Both of them weren't all attacking minded players and defensive minded players. And do you know what, man? We got so unlucky in that Euros. Obviously, we were just 1 point before qualifying for the round of 16. Poland beat us, so they did.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show, man, that football has changed, man. Like, people say go back to Sir Alex's formation 4-4-2. That will never work. We need to go to 3 in the midfield, man. I want to. I keep saying this since when Said brings up in fan calling shows. I want to go back to 3 in the midfield, and I will die by that. But
Yeah.
big up, anyways. I'm gonna shoot off here.
Yeah, big up. Yeah, big up. We're not gonna be that long. Big up.
Oh,
Love,
go ahead.
love. No, big up. We're not gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
that long.
yeah. Free Palestine, fuck Zionism, and also big shout out to all the Muslims out there. Eid Mubarak to
Yeah.
all the Muslims, and
Thank you so
peace out,
much.
anyways, everyone.
Peace. Nice one, Ben. Nice one. Go ahead, Jarvis. Jarvis, you're mute.
Yeah, but
Jarvis, you take over the bit of the show now. Show what you wanted to show.
yeah, I wanted to show this to Ben, but it's okay. This is from the Newcastle
He
game
can watch
we
it.
lost.
He can watch it. Yeah, he can watch it tomorrow.
This season, and what I'm going to show you here is, if you watch closely, I'm just gonna make the yellow for you to watch. There's 2 Newcastle players here, and the midfield is okay. You have Eriksen, you have Bruno in a fairly in one line, if you can say, and in a press like this, you don't
Yeah.
sell yourself. You don't go
No.
1 against 2.
No.
But if you look at Bruno here in this situation, and
I know
actually look
exactly
at
what he's
Eriksen
doing.
also, because Bruno is looking at Eriksen, and Eriksen is waving his arm. He don't want Bruno to go, but Bruno goes anyway.
Yeah,
Look at Eriksen now first.
Yeah.
He looks at each other, and
Right.
Eriksen do like this, and to take it out and on. What the fuck are you doing? Look at Bruno.
Yeah.
There are 2 Newcastle players, and Bruno is just rushing into them and selling himself.
Yeah. And look at
Again,
Amas.
1 against 2.
Amas
Why
already
are you doing
committed.
like this? This is a big problem. And if you see Bruno here, Bruno is here, and the Newcastle player is here, so he will go about here, and Bruno can still catch him and run up to him. But Bruno stops right away, waving his arms and yelling at the debutant of the night, young Harry Amas. This is our captain, screaming at our young Harry Amas in this position. It's so stupid, I can't even explain. Look here, look at Bruno waving his arms and pointing at Harry Amos. How close is Bruno to the Newcastle player, and how far away is Harry Amos in this position? He wants Harry Amos to sell himself, open this space in behind, just so he can go press like a madman. The distance here is so much closer than this distance. And Bruno still waves at Harry Amos and wants him to sell himself and open this space.
He's basically
terrible
5 yards
defending.
away. He's basically 5 or 3-4 yards away, and he's about 17, 18 yards away.
And you see, still standing there, just pointing his arm.
Still angry.
And then
still angry.
Trippier gives in the ball. You remember this from Isak.
Yeah,
Beautiful
it's
ball.
well,
And Tonali scored 1-0 up.
Yeah.
And right after that, you don't see it in this angle, but Bruno is giving Harry Amos the treatment.
Yeah.
So
That
I'm
is-
just telling you, it's these fine margins that
Of course.
that's what you get with Bruno.
But you can't have somebody who's not positionally disciplined, Jarvis. You can't. If 5 aside, you know what? And my 7 aside, I say to you, don't be on my side. If you're not tracking your player, if you're not moving, if you're not getting back in position, 11 aside, you get murdered. You get absolutely murdered. This is almost like a trap. They wanted this. They wanted him to come out like a headless chicken. So then, boom, they can move in there. It's crazy. So let me just get the super chat. Big up to Tay. Tay says, Amarin doesn't have a system. He has a formation, facts. But let's the media make the narrative that 3-4-3 is a style of play. Why is this? It won't change. Yeah, style of play. And I won't change. That's what he says. Nonsense. Now he looks weak if he changes it. Silly. Yeah, you're right. It's a formation. But the formation for me is that we play 5 at the back. The system is play 5 at the back because we get pinned back. And the midfield, we're not strong enough in midfield. And we haven't got super athletic, other than Euro, we don't have super athletic defenders who can actually go into that midfield, go into space, and actually carry the ball, or who are brilliant ball players.
But we need one. The key is one midfielder, a midfielder who can stride. Cover a lot of area.
It's your boy, you're Norwegian boy. You're Norwegian
what's
boy.
his name?
Kanye,
Yeah.
Kanye needs to go on loan, Jarvis. He needs to go on loan in the championship. Collier, for me, maybe coached. If you really do some strong sessions with him, Collier's got the legs to get around. Collier's got the legs to gather, and he's very good. By the way, Jarvis, he's on $4,000 a week at United.
Well,
and when he's on the pitch,
young, he doesn't deserve anything else. But all the other players get too much. That's just the way it is.
That's the problem.
Something wrong with the wage structure. But I hear people mentioning Baleba as a possible player we should sign, and he would fit us perfectly. But
I see him going to Liverpool or Man City, Jarvis.
Yeah. He's brilliant. He can stride. He can cover all that big area.
He's got it all. He's got it all. He can hit a diagonal with his left foot. He can actually go and score goals as well. He's sometimes got that kind of old school kind of number 8, box to box kind of a player, Jarvis. He has it all, man. He has it all. Yeah. It's tragic. It's absolutely tragic, Jarvis. You wanted to show something else, Jarvis? Was it something else you
No. I found a better picture. I was looking because I have a big archive now with clips. So I think this tells about Bruno. It's better than the tactical board.
Yeah, Jarvis. Genuinely, are you shocked that Amarin wanted to keep him, knowing that Amarin's not stupid? He knows that positionally he's disciplined, and the most positionally disciplined game he had was the Man City, so the Liverpool away game, and that was his best game in the United shirt. He was terrific that day, Jarvis. He was terrific. I was so shocked how good he was, how composed he was, how he was putting his body. He was putting his body on, to protect the ball, and he was getting fouls, remember? And he was giving it 5 yards, getting it back, playing it out. He made the decision, always picking the right path, not hooving the fucking ball. No hooving, just short, 5 yards, playing. Everybody's together.
But hoofing, he stopped with the hoofing in my estimation. He's improved this game. He's not hoofing the ball as much as he did under Den Haag. But it's more his positional discipline that worries me. Things like this. When you sell yourself short, the whole system collapses. That's the thing. It's like a dominoes. Everything goes down when you sell yourself. You can't do stuff like that against Newcastle.
Yeah. 100%. People, we can be up till so late. Outside that, I'm keeping you both guys up till late. People, please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Unfortunately, we've not reached our target. Jarvis, is there any other things that you wanted to bring up before we go?
No, I just want to say, to level it up when it comes to Bruno, I think it was brilliant last season when he was able to drop down and receive the ball, and Xerxes was dropping down to receive the
Yeah.
ball, and they
But then-
had combination play. So if we can recreate that type of play with Bruno,
But
in
then
the team-
Amorim fucked it up, Jarvis. Do you remember before
He
the
did,
March
he did. He
International?
changed it up.
Before the March International, do you remember that? We were doing good. We were all Stu. We were all saying, look at Xerxes. All the clips on your tactical channel was Xerxes pointing, bang, coming into that space. Bruno come back, and then we bring everybody. Then Xerxes can turn, get the ball out wide.
Yeah, we had a
Then-
way out. We had
yeah.
a way out. But suddenly everything changed, and they moved Bruno up in the 10, Xerxes out of the team, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
You know, Bruno is a divisive figure when it comes to this, and I understand why people love him, and I understand why people hate on him, and that's just the way it is.
No, I don't
But he
hate
has
on the
his
character.
weaknesses, but he has some strengths too. It's
But
not.
Jarvis, I don't hate
all
on
doom
him.
and gloom.
I
No.
just genuinely do think he stat pads. I really think that he stat pads against the weaker teams. And for me, and I know you, Jarvis, I've never played football with you, but I know how you see football after talking to you for so many years. I know you could never play next to Bruno Fernandes. Never.
No.
Why do I know that? Because I'm a midfielder too.
Yeah.
Hold the fucking position. What are you
have to-
doing?
You have to rely on your teammates. You know, you can't cover for everyone all the time. You run
That's the
yourself
biggest.
silly.
Jarvis, for me, all the things, I think his penalties, he's tremendous. He's one of the best penalty takers I've ever seen in my life. And I think he works really hard on that. And what I like about him, Jarvis, is that when he takes penalties, goalkeepers, they don't know, because he's got 3 or 4 different ways he's developed to take the penalty. He skips sometimes he hits it in the corner, sometimes he just looks at the goalkeeper, you know what I mean? He doesn't even look at the ball. So those things happen, Jarvis. But I think on his day that he can strike a football, but Jarvis, it's the shooting when there are better players in position. It's this bullshit crossing when the ball's going out of fucking. It's too many things. It's missing the pass, you know what I mean? Where he needs to hoove it, where he can play 5 yards and get the team up the pitch. You know, like real good playmakers. It's like snooker players, Jarvis, or pool players. The 4, 5 moves. 4, 5 moves. The first move is for them to get into 5th or 5 moves. They play not just one move. The really good snooker players, they set up a thing to go on a roll. They're not just going hoofing it. They're passing it short, pass it, build up, pop this, pop that, pop this, pop that.
Yeah, but
and
that's
get
what
up
I'm
there.
saying. When that little small pocket of February, March before Amorim changed it up, Bruno and Casemiro had a connection. Casemiro moved out of the way. Bruno dropped in the pocket, received the ball, played to Xerxes, dropped down. Then Bruno moved in the mid circle, received the ball from Xerxes again. So we had a pattern, like 3, 4, 5 passes, and everything clicked. And that was when I changed on Bruno. I was more positive to Bruno, and I still think he can do that. But we need the right players, and Amorim needs to see this. He can't keep chopping and changing. That's one of the biggest problems.
Yeah.
And I think he made a mistake at that point.
For me, dropping Xerxes when he was doing so well, we looked so much better. The system actually looked better, Jarvis. Looked better because here we go. We had a player who can turn because he's so strong. It's hard to bully him off the ball. He could turn. He was getting used to the physicality of the Premier League. He was actually bullying people, winning the ball back, and then you drop him. He was doing so fucking well.
What do you think will happen to Xerxes next season?
I think he's already been linked for things. Him and Rasmus are linked for him to go back to, because I'm just looking at it. I'm like, he favors Mason Mount. You've got Bruno, you've got Umbermo and Cunha. Both of them bought for over 60 million by the time they come here. You're going to be on the bench. You're going to be on the bench. If you get Gyokeres as well, you're going to be on the bench. I don't see it. I don't see it. And we don't have that many games as well, Jarvis, until the League Cup starts, then the FA Cup starts, then we've got games. You know what I mean? We haven't got that extra 1 game in Europe. So it's going to be very interesting.
Are you doing anything tomorrow, Nordin?
I might be, yeah. I might do some show tomorrow, yeah. I might release a video. It depends. Why? What are you doing tomorrow?
No, because I know it's late, but I have some info on the goalkeeper we link to, but maybe we can save it for tomorrow. We can save it for tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow 10:30. Okay, let you go to bed. Right, let's all go to bed as well. Let's all big up, bro. Show Saeed the what lovely Johannesburg has to offer.
No,
I'm sure you will tell him
that.
places to go and check him out. Yeah, nice one, bro. Appreciate you always. Listen, people, 200, just over 200 short. Tactical Devils is the place where you need to go. You just type in Tactical Devils into that bar, and that's where you need to go, people. Tactical Devils. Tactical Devils, people. Devils. Breakdowns.
170.69 away.
There you go, people. There you go. There you go. There you go. It's here. It's simple. The channel is here. I'm going to just post it in the chat now. There you go. It's here. It's here. We have it here, people. We have it here. It's there. Bowley. It literally is the same as Jarvis's Twitter. There you go. So 170 short. They can monetize properly. There it is. Can monetize properly. You go www.youtube.com/@Bowley77. There it is. It's the same handle as at Twitter on X, whatever you want to call it. So people, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Please, let's get to 200 likes. That was our target. Let me see. Let me just give you the poll as well. Let me give you the poll. Tomorrow, maybe we'll do a poll. Tomorrow we'll do a poll. How much more do we need? How much more? What positions? And we'll list the positions. And then you can then decide what position is more important. But let's get to the poll, people. I think Amarim was 50%. So Ineos are falling apart again. Who's next? Omar 31, Wilcox at 10%, Amarim at 50%, Vivel at 10%. That's the poll, people. And over 167 of you have voted. But not 167 of you have liked the video. More of you have voted, then more of you have liked the video. Crazy people, yeah. But yeah, Tactical Devils, people. That's where we're at.
Big up
Tactical
Stephanie.
Devils. Yeah. Big up Stephanie. Big up Fox Zionism, the death cult that it is. The murderous, genocidal death cult that it is. Big up to everybody who got involved tonight. Big up to our brother for the super chat. Appreciate you, Ty. Thank you so much. Big up to Sheikh Arian, Chief Editor, United Real Therapy. This was the news that came out. Here, can you see? Low. Because I think they're putting so much on Aiden Heaven. Jarvis, I watched him closely against the Aston Villa. For a whole half, he was on my side. He is good, but he needs a lot to work on. So to be putting a pressure on a youngster like that, you need him to develop. You need him to develop organically. You don't need to put him on such extreme pressure. Craig's got it out as well. But people, free Palestine, free Sudan, free Ogaden. And before we go here, Lesso at Black Rain on X, Lesso Football TV. Jarvis Cocker, the YouTube channel is Tactical Devils. And you can find him on X at Bowley, BOLE77. So go and find him on there. But yeah, tomorrow, join us. We're going to be hopefully much earlier tomorrow, around 10:30 UK time. We'll be live. Love and light, everybody. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you don't subscribe. And free Palestine. Free Manchester United fans from Glazers and Ineos. Free the Manchester 10. Free all the indigenous people worldwide from militarism, corporatism, and the thieves who are robbing the people's lands and resources. Love and light, people. Free Palestine. We're here. We're shadow banned, but we don't give a damn. Stop the genocide. End the apartheid. Decolonize. Love light. See you tomorrow, people. 200 likes, please. Those of you who watch the video later, smash the like. First thing you should be doing, smashing a like. Love and light. And yeah, 170 short to proper monetize. There you go. Bowley 77 Tactical Devils. Subscribe. Love and light. Peace. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Appreciate you both.